So guys, in our discussion about different aspects of cellular signaling, something you must have realized is that it's perhaps the most fundamental feature of living things. Actually, life is all about signaling. But keep in mind that we covered some major signaling pathways like GPCR based signaling, like RTK based signaling, or signaling which involved the neurons or neuronal signaling. But there is a whole diversity of signaling pathways which are all the time occurring in your body. There is NF-kappa B based pathway, there is Wnt signaling based pathway, there is Notch signaling based pathway, there are then whole diversity of signaling which involve your immune system. So, not only the pathways we just have gone through, there is a whole diversity of signaling pathways, and not only the signaling pathways, but also in different species. When we were talking about the signaling in our last few lectures, our focus was about, we were talking about the signaling which take place in metazones or mainly in us, in human. But then there is signaling pathways which are also designated in plants. They are quite different signaling pathways. Then there are also in the protists. So, in all the living organisms, you can witness all sorts of diversity in the signaling. However, the main principle or major principles of the signaling pathways are almost the same, that you have a signaling molecule which elicits a signaling a reaction by its binding with the receptor, and then there is the relay of this signaling event which gets amplified, which gets integrated, and finally you have the response. So, the main principles are the same no matter which signaling pathway you are talking about, no matter which organism you are talking about in which those signaling pathways are taking place. Also keep in mind that in the different pathways of signaling which we discussed, we just touched them, we did not dive deeper into them. It is because of the fact, why it is so? Because we wanted you to know the basic principles of signaling which is important for you to understand different metabolic pathways. This is the course this is a biochemistry course, this is biochemistry and physiology course, this is not a cell biology course. If you really want to have a deeper understanding of the signaling events, I recommend you to go through the books which are specifically designated for the cell biology, and there is whole well detailed cell biology course also which is designated for to deal with the signaling, cellular signaling. So, I will recommend you that if you really want, and of course, you will have to, if you want to really get your BS degree, you really will have to go a very detailed understanding of the cellular signaling of this subject. So, that is why the cell biology, subject of cell biology is the compulsory subject for your degree. So, you will study the different aspects of signaling in detail in the course known as cell biology. In biochemistry too, it is important still to know the major signaling principles which we have discussed.